Alô, malta! Está no ar o Papo Dev com Portinho, o podcast da Luta do Delphi, que dá voz da comunidade Delphi dentro e fora de Portugal. Aqui exploramos histórias reais, unindo tecnologia e experiência para inspirar e conectar. Não é isso, meu amigo João? Diga lá, meu amigo, tudo bem por aí? Opa, tá sem som, João. Tá sem som. Vai cortar. Agora estou.
Espera aí, deixa eu ver aqui o microfone.
Então, deixa eu me apresentar primeiro. Eu sou o George De Luca, eu sou embarcadeiro MVP cá em Portugal. Aqui, meu amigo João, também embarcadeiro MVP em Portugal, bem recente. Vai fazer um ano, hein, João, que você foi nomeado como MVP embarcadeiro. Com muita honra, muito orgulho. Dentro do nosso primeiro evento.
De surpresa, ninguém me avisou que íamos ter uma surpresa dessas, mas foi bom apanhar assim uma surpresa. E estamos nós em mais um podcast, desta vez com um convidado aqui da Europa, não é?
Da Bélgica. Mas antes da gente começar, eu quero pedir a todos que nos seguem, a todos que estão a ver esse vídeo, para não esquecer de deixar o seu gosto, subscrever o nosso canal, seguir, compartilhar os nossos vídeos e também comentar. Comente nesse vídeo qual é a cidade e o país que vocês estão a ver o nosso vídeo. Deixe o seu like, não se esqueçam de fazer isso, que é muito importante para que o YouTube saiba que nós existimos, né? E que possa partilhar para mais gente. Não é isso, João?
Exatamente. O algoritmo do YouTube é inteligente e sabe que quanto mais comentários e mais likes a gente tiver, mais visibilidade o canal também tem que ter. E mais visibilidade o canal tem, mais conhecimento a gente compartilha com todos.
É isso aí.
Agora vamos lá então chamar o nosso convidado, não é?
Deixa eu apresentar primeiro. Olha, esse nosso convidado, ele é belga, ele nasceu e vive ainda na Bélgica. Ele trabalha com tecnologia há mais de 35 anos, desde 1987. Já tem uma experiência aí danada. E ele, João, ele é CTO na TMS.
Exatamente.
Não é?
É o nosso amigo Bruno. Bruno, please.
Só um minutinho, avisar para o pessoal que esse podcast será apresentado em inglês, mas vocês podem colocar a legenda em português, caso não tenha necessidade de ler as legendas, coloque a legenda em inglês. Então, meu amigo João, por favor, introduza aí o nosso...
If you don't mind, Bruno, can you turn on your camera and micro, please?
Hello.
Pleased to meet you, Bruno.
Hello,
nice to meet you.
Joa. How are you?
Nice to have you here. Bruno,
thanks for having me. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yes, it's our pleasure you being here. Thank you for accept our invitation. We like a lot the TMS components. I am your customer too.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that.
I like a lot your work about Delphi and the components. TMS is very interesting and very good components for Delphi. I think you have other components for other languages too,
Delphi,
but
.NET.
Yes, but I have used it only to Delphi.
Yes.
The majority is Delphi, and of course Delphi is what we like and what we are passionate about. So that's the obvious reason why the majority of components is indeed for Delphi.
Bruno, who is Bruno? What he does? Can you speak a little about yourself?
So I live in Belgium. I've always lived in Belgium. I had an education as a civil electronics engineer, and around that time, so we are going back to 87. So that's like 39 years ago. Then at the university, I encountered Turbo Pascal 3, it was at that time. And while my ambition or my aim was to become an electronics engineer for designing, developing electronics circuits and systems, etc., I got so hooked and so passionate about Turbo Pascal at that time that during the day I was doing electronics, and during the night I was doing Turbo Pascal till in '95 it became a full-time occupation. And in '95, of course, we already had Delphi 1. And since then, it has been my full-time, lifetime occupation, passion from morning till night, 7/7.
Very good. And Bruno, why did you choose programming? And what motivates you to use the Delphi?
Well, I was in the 80s. I was fascinated by the fact that with writing some code, I could let the computer do some things. That concept was already fascinating. My first dabbling with the computer was in the basic language. I still remember all kinds of frustrations I had with that experience. Everyone will remember the line numbers. So you started with 10, 20, 30, 40, and then you have to insert some code that becomes like 25 and then 26. And then, well, everyone who has been there knows all the issues. Of course, basic in these days was also an interpreted language. And so the moment that I discovered Turbo Pascal 3, it was not only a much cleaner, more structured language, but also the advantages of not having to care about line numbers, have a compiler that creates an executable from it. That was just a wonderful, exciting experience. And I never looked back at the basic language since I started with Turbo Pascal. And I think of course, the evolution of the language, certainly in the 90s when objects were introduced in Turbo Pascal. And then, of course, the big step that was done with RAD-style component-based programming, that was like another revolution in software development. So I always had some new excitements with this experience that it kept me hooked.
Yeah, it's been a long road until today now. Yes. Bruno, we have reached an era where no longer the human is the main piece in development of software. We reach an era where artificial intelligence seems to be taking the place of some of us. How do you see the impact of this new kind of, let's say, concurrency in the programming world, and what kind of tools do you use in your daily routines?
That's a very loaded question. It is indeed a whole kind of other revolution that we are living with the AI, and certainly the level that AI can do coding today. So I'm looking at it with mixed feelings. On one side, I'm really excited. I think this opens up an incredible amount of possibilities. It also helps me and colleagues to be way more productive than we were like 5 years ago. So that's all a positive thing. the where the other side, like I said, mixed feelings is that I always enjoyed the concept of solving puzzles and creating some software algorithm is actually translating some kind of problem into code. And I always experienced that as a kind of puzzle. And what I miss, on one side, I'm very happy that AI can assist me and even give me puzzle solutions. On the other side, I feel a little bit sad that I'm losing the satisfaction of having solved a puzzle. I remember many, many long nights where I would not give up to crack some puzzle. And that experience and the satisfaction in the end is now a different experience with AI. And I'm just wondering what will replace this puzzle solving satisfaction in an AI world.
Okay, good.
Bruno, but do you see any danger for the developers today with the AI? Do you see any problems in the future?
Well, let me start with the number of issues that I see. The first issue that I see is, of course, young developers, starting developers, students at school. So we used to have at TMS every year, every school year, we used to have 2 students on board for learning, of course, the process, everything development related. And when I compare what a student did like 2, 3, 4 years ago, all these years that we had these students, and the results that they delivered over a school year, if you compare that with AI, I think the student can never, he does not even come close to what an AI does today. So where is the position of the student in this AI software development world? That's a big question mark for me. So that's one thing a problem that I see. Another problem that I see is, of course, AI can generate code at rates not comparable with what humans can do, and that actually my experience is that it switches from the amount of time that you have to spend on writing code to actually reviewing code, testing the code that the AI generated. Of course, reviewing and testing is a different experience than writing the code. And the danger that I see is that if we do not review and test the AI generated code deep enough, that a lot of code with issues will go out. So that's something that also worries me. On the other side, another thing that worries me is that what is typically referred to as the moat of a company, the moat being all the knowledge and intellectual property that goes into software. The AI actually breaks down this moat in an enormous scale. So if you are a software company, I think it becomes more challenging. I think we can expect more competition from AI generated whatsoever. So how can you position any software company these days in a world where AI just breaks down the moat? So I think a lot of challenges ahead.
Yeah, nice. I agree. We have a lot of things to contend with in the future.
Yeah. Bruno, what inspired you to create TMS and start developing components for Delphi? And how did that journey begin?
Actually, the journey began with a combination of organizing myself in a way that I wanted to be as efficient as possible. And at the same time, seeing what was, I think, exploding actually in the Delphi or Pascal and then later Delphi world in the 90s. Before I developed components, I was mainly doing custom software development projects for customers. And what I saw was always repeating patterns of things that I had to do for customer A, and then the next project for customer B, C, and so on. So I organized myself to reuse to the maximum extent what I developed for customer A to do it for a project for customer B. And reusing these things meant creating components, embedding functionality in components so that I could easily reuse it every time. At the same time, I witnessed this explosion of components, and back in the 90s, while it still exists, the Tori Delphi pages, and there was also another famous one it was in Poland, if my memory serves well. Something like I don't know. I don't. Do you remember the name?
No, I use a lot the first one, Tori. It was, I think, the most used site for searching components for Delphi in that time.
Yeah.
The other one, I don't recall it.
As I don't recall it too either. I don't know.
Well, I know that like in 95, there were two sources I was always going to. Tori was one of them. The other one was, if I remember correct, in Poland and had something with Delphi pages or delphicomponents.com. Well, whatever, does not matter. But I saw it develop and I thought, it would be cool and interesting to have one of my components there. And so I did. I created some components that I had for my internal projects, and I uploaded these components to Tori and the other one. And to my surprise, people started using these components. And I was starting to get emails from all around the world. Hey, how can I do this with your component? Or can I do this? Or this does not work? Or can you add this function? And so on. And so it was like in a record time that I started to get many emails with many requests of all kinds, and that not only led to improving the components that I put there, but also creating new components. And that is actually what kickstarted TMS. So quickly, I actually had more work with creating components than with the projects that originally were the reason for creating the components. Still, I think like 2 years later, I was like 100% of my time devoted to creating components. And actually, to be honest, I liked creating components way more than creating projects for customers.
Yes, I remember some years ago, I had a project in Intraweb, and I think, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 years ago, and I needed something specific, something to put in my project. And in that time, Intraweb didn't have a lot of good functionalities to work. And then, oh my God, how can I do that? I didn't know. And then I find TMS, and I saw TMS had. I think you have you still have this component, and I saw the TMS component for Intraweb, and I needed the component to manipulate dates, right? And I bought this component in that time, and I use it and work it very well. And I have this component until now. This project in Delphi X2, XA2, and the components too. And I didn't update this project anymore, but in that time, it was very that worked very well, right? I that's what I told you when we started this podcast. I like a lot your conference because I think it's very beautiful. The functionalities, it's very interesting, and that's it. I know other components free and not free around the internet, but in my opinion, it's not because you are here, right? It's I talked to João sometimes. We talked to João and I talking. We are talking about Delphi all the time. We talking for projects because we have other projects, not only in Luso Delphi. And I think João agree with me.
Yeah. I used
TMS
to
components, it's very good.
I am using Aurelius, Xdata, and I'm using these components from you also. I'm also a customer. I need it.
João,
tell me something, Bruno. You today you are full time. You work full time with TMS. You have any other projects ongoing beside TMS? What are you doing today, and what are your plans for the next years?
Oh, there's the cat joining us. I wanted to quickly come back to Intraweb because I think, if my memory serves well, I told you that the nice thing about Turbo Pascal and then Delphi is that there was always a new excitement around the corner. So we had Turbo Pascal, we had then objects in Pascal, we had then Delphi red component-based design, and then I believe it was around 2001, if my memory serves well, that I discovered Intraweb. And Intraweb was like the first product that enabled web development with Delphi. And yes, so I thought that was fascinating. I was extremely excited that Delphi developers also got access to create web applications. So that excitement actually drove me to start developing components for the Intraweb framework. If you talk about other excitements, well, the other main excitements that was then later around the corner was the FireMonkey framework. So 2011, if my memory is correct, that was yet another major breakthrough, I think, finally being able to develop applications that run natively on a smartphone, iPads, and so on. And so that same process. I was extremely excited, fascinated by the capabilities, and that's what led us to then jump on creating FireMonkey components. And now I think we are in the wave of, well, excitement, but at the same time, a lot of questions around AI. So let's see where these things take us. I was equally fascinated, of course, with when AI started to gain traction. I still remember it was like end 2022 when OpenAI went public with ChatGPT, which excited me and fascinated me. So I created some REST API connection to it to see what could be done with it. And the rest is kind of history. That then, of course, other cloud LLMs became available. And with the TMS AI Studio, we tried to unify all that. And then things like tool calling from AI, etc., MCP, servers, clients, agents, all these things appeared in record time, and fascinated and still fascinates me. And so if you ask me what I'm doing, well, I'm still working full time on TMS components. The only change is maybe that where in the 90s, it was like the show Me, Myself, and I. While now there is, of course, a team around us. And so there's a little shift in steering the team, leading the projects, and still, because I certainly would not, I would miss it a lot if I would have to stop software development itself. So I still try to save enough time for me to be actually busy with software development. And that is, in these days, mainly three areas. That is still VCL components. The VCL UI pack is one of these because till today that is still used to a very, very large extent. Another area that I'm also still deeply involved with is WebCore. So that is actually what kind of superseded IntraWeb framework. It's a different architecture, different approach, but certainly brings advantages and qualities to web application development. And I'm still working on that area, improving and extending the product. And then the third part is AI related, where I'm mainly working in developing components that will help people add AI functionality in their applications, because I think there is these days a lot of focus on AI as an helper for the software developer itself, helping the software development process. But actually, we software developers all create software that is used by other people. And the question there is, how can we help these other people, the users of our customers? How can we help them to add AI functionality into these applications? So I think that is an important angle, because I would say that suppose that there is a software vendor A with the Delphi application and another software vendor B with a similar Delphi application. If the developer A is adding or AI enabling his application for his customers and the other developer B is not doing it, I think the chances going forward for the first developer are higher. So I think it's also important for Delphi users to also help, facilitate, make it possible that AI can also be used by the end users of our applications. And that's then the area where I also work a lot on.
About what you say about the AI to create components for AI, I agree totally with you, because I have a product. I have some customers here in Portugal, and I am thinking, how can I introduce AI in my product for my user using the AI inside the software, right? And I looking for how can what functionalities is useful for them to use AI. So I saw your components, the TMS components about AI too. I will see more information about that. So Bruno, this podcast is not for only experienced professionals, but this podcast was created for beginners too, of course, right? And I think it's important the experienced professionals like you to say for these beginners. For example, what do you say to someone who is just starting out in programming or wants to begin?
Well, the first thing that I want to say is make sure that software development is your passion. I think passion is really the key word here. And if you're passionate about what you're doing, you perceive it not as work, but it's we call it. I'm not sure if you heard about the word. We call it a jobby. And so that's the hobby and job together.
Yeah,
And so
I agree.
if you're passionate about what you're doing, you're just doing a jobby. And so I think that is very important. I think actually earlier I said these are challenging times for beginners because the AI is, I think, stronger than beginners. At the same time, I think it's a huge opportunity because I think back in the days, like 20 years ago, I think our only source of information was magazines, books, and some websites here and there,
Yeah,
if we
some
were lucky.
forums, BBS, yeah.
That was our only source of information. So if we wanted to have something new, we had to wait till the next edition of the magazine, like a month later, and then, whoa, there is this new and this new. Now you have everything. Well, Bill Gates was very right when he said information at your fingertips. We have all the information at our fingertips. So I think AI is fortunately a helper for a beginning developer to be successful very, very much faster than we could be like 20 years ago. So I say to beginners, use AI as a teacher. You have a teacher beside you every day. What a luck, can you imagine? And be passionate about. Also, I think creativity, connecting the dots is also an important thing. So don't be afraid to ask maybe crazy things to an AI. It might inspire you to connect dots that you did not see that could be connected, and just enjoy the process. I think that is very important.
Yeah,
Very good.
that's a good point, but they need to remember all the bases, the fundamentals. That's not the artificial intelligence is not giving the basis. It's going to give some advanced lessons, but they need to first learn also the basis behind that. Bruno, before we start finishing the podcast, I know that you have some demos for us to show us about TMS products. Is that right? Can you tell us?
Well, George asked me to, if it was possible, to show a couple of things that excited me. And so I have been diving a little bit in recent stuff that excited me. And so that's what I prepared for sharing here today.
Please,
Okay, let's go.
let us see.
So let me see if technically that works out. You see the Delphi
Yes.
IDE?
Delphi is, yeah.
Okay. So first thing that I wanted to show that I explained that it excites me a lot that we now have the ability to integrate and offer AI functionality in our applications for end users. The possibilities are, in my opinion, endless. And one of these things that I wanted to show that we created is how AI can help us in extract data from images. And so here in this demo, do you remember this book from Danny Thorpe?
It's an old one, that.
It's indeed a very old one and a precious book to me. Danny Thorpe, I talked to him personally back in the 90s and so on. A lot of respect and admiration for Danny Thorpe. And this is a page from his book. And so now I'm going to use OpenAI to extract the text from this image. And so it's actually basic OCR functionality, but it is realized by an AI these days. And so this is all the information extracted up to the price. Can you imagine the price is somewhere here of this book is extracted. So I think for many businesses, this kind of functionality offers huge opportunities to integrate that into applications where all kinds of business documents need to be digitized in text form. And that is these days really easy to do. It's something that I thought was exciting and wanted to share. Another thing that I wanted to share, and I will explain why exactly I wanted to share that. I'll pick this picture here. So it's an old painting. And so now I'm going to ask the AI that it's actually image analysis. I'm asking from the AI, I will choose again OpenAI, to describe what the AI is seeing in the picture. So let's see. So now I'm sending this picture to the AI and I ask a description. And so here is the description that it comes up with. Actually, this result from OpenAI is actually, let me see if I select Claude and do the same with Claude, because I think the result will be somewhat more interesting, and it's certainly something that surprised me. Here you can see it. So if you look at the picture, I had not seen or discovered this myself. This is a bottle of champagne, and with the human eye, we can see Jules M. That's actually all we can see. The other things is hidden by this apple. But still, Claude is able to identify that it sees a central bottle Jules M. So the same the human eye is seeing. But here it suggests that this is the brand, the champagne brand Jules M from Reims. So that is something I wanted to share. It surprised myself. Something I would personally never have had thought of, that it could go that far to identify something that is not even visible with the human eye on this picture. So imagine all kinds of things. This demo, for example, it's an AI studio. You can download it, play with it, experiment with it yourself. It can also do image comparison, for example. I can show that. So I have here 2 cars, right? And I will ask, let's see if what Gemini is doing with it. I will ask the AI to compare these 2 pictures and see what it can say about the 2 cars that you see here displayed. Let's see what it comes up with. And it correctly identified the one on the left side and the one on the right side with all additional information on it. So I think, whoa, that it can do that with that kind of detail, that is really something that surprised me. Another thing, also AI-based, that I wanted to share is actually, and I have to look here to show you. Here we have an Excel file. And so this Excel file, I just grabbed it from the internet, and you see here the sales representative and all kinds of sales data, and here the amount of sales realized in 2000 and so on. Okay, and so that's the Excel file. What I'm going to do now is run this application. I will pick the Excel file. And now I can just query, and I will ask this from OpenAI. Give me the top 3 sales people from this data. So let's see what it comes up with. So now I'm sending the Excel file to OpenAI, and you can see here in order of sales numbers, you can see, so with just this basic question, it knew that in what column the salesperson name was, in what column the sales total was. It summed up all the sales from every salesperson, and then it showed the top 3 sellers from this Excel file. So yeah, I was personally also amazed that even one simple question and let the AI just find it out itself was quite surprising. Another thing that I wanted to share is something about FNC. So I explained that another big exciting moment was 2011 when the FireMonkey framework was shown and released. After a while, we realized that we could develop components that can be used at the same time in a VCL application and in a FireMonkey application. And when we then later developed TMS Web Core, the web client application framework, we did all the extra effort needed to bring the FNC components also to the world of web client development. So here we have this FNC data grid in a web core project. So we can use that same data grid with the same code in a VCL application and a FireMonkey application, but here we have it in a web core. And when we compile that application with this code, this component, it just turns out to run in a web application. It runs directly in the browser. So here is the result of that application. And as you can see, that is a quite sophisticated grid with the grid in a grid, and all the bells and whistles that you expect these days from grids. But the fact is, it all runs seamlessly in the browser from this Delphi application, and the same code you could use to create a native application from it. Also, one of the things, can you imagine the first time here in the office that we achieved that an FNC component was running live in the browser? That was, of course, an exciting moment. And then to conclude, another small thing that I prepared is interaction, AI interaction with maps. So we have our FNC mapping component with which you can show maps and put all kinds of things on the map, etc. And so here we are making the combination with AI. And an easy example is show the 10 most important castles in France on my map. So that's the query I'm asking. And so let's see what OpenAI will do with my prompt. And it starts adding the locations of castles on my map. And so it should add 10 castles. So let's see what that's I think 10. And here if I hover over, you can see this castle, Chateau d'Angers, Chateau de Guedelon, I think Fontainebleau is there, I think Versailles should be there too. Here of course is Versailles, so the castle of Versailles. It did not miss that important castle in France. So whatever, maybe you have something with Portugal that I can ask OpenAI about. What do you propose?
Yeah, you can ask OpenAI to give us the most oldest cities in Portugal, for example.
Okay, give the, let's say, 5 oldest cities in Portugal. So now I'm already very curious. I have no clue myself on my map. Okay, and let's see what it comes up with. Okay, and you can of course say if it's correct or not. Here Braga, it says Porto,
Yes.
Coimbra, ancient Roman city, Coimbra and Lisbon. Is that correct, or? And I didn't know. I put 5. Let me see. No. Well, the thing is, if I can count correct, I see 4 cities.
Yeah, 4.
Well,
4.
I have no knowledge, but maybe you can tell me if it's anywhere near.
Yeah, it's right on.
Yes, I think so. Coimbra, it's the oldest.
Yeah. Yes, it's one of the oldest. Coimbra, then Braga. Old Bracar Augustus in Roman time.
Yeah.
That's right.
Rome time.
It
Roman
looks
Imperium.
It looks to
Yes,
be on
but-
the wrong position, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. Show the city Braga in Portugal on the map. That's okay. Now it's correct. So indeed, here we see still some. Let me have a look. What kind of model that is configured? I don't remember exactly for OpenAI. It's using the GPT 5.4 mini, this kind of, so it is a quite recent, it's not the most recent, it's a quite recent model. What I can tell from experience is that not every LLM, for example, is able to automatically link the geo coordinates with the name of the city yet. OpenAI is able, but we saw that it made a little mistake with
Yes.
Braga, apparently. So I think this is a live demonstration of how you should always review what an AI is producing.
Bruno, let me ask you something about Delphi. We are, for the youngest generations, some kind of old people working with an old language. I hear that a lot here in Portugal and in other sites. We are still keeping people saying, Delphi and Pascal are dead. That's something that long time ago they are keeping saying, but still we are very alive. How do you compare Delphi with some of the most recent language? We see a lot of language come and go, getting in the hype and then completely disappearing without leaving a trace. Why do we, the old people, keep working in Delphi? Can we explain to the young ones, please?
Well, I think you already gave the answer a little bit yourself, saying that we have the hype languages and the hypes come and go. And the nice we began this podcast referring to me in 1987, dabbling a little bit with Turbo Pascal. So I think the importance is that if you care about investing your time and the longevity of what you invest your time in, I think Delphi is unparalleled. I think I personally do not know a language or an environment framework that preserves your investment of time as long as it is with Delphi. I do remember, for example, and I think that is information that needs maybe to be shared more. I remember some time ago, years ago, we did a custom project for a customer for an iPad application, and that was the time we started it. We started it before the FireMonkey framework appeared. And so we developed it with Xcode. And at that time, we used the patterns that were needed to develop the iPad application with Xcode. And that was Objective-C. And I forgot the name of the tool that was used to create the user interface. There was some separate tool to create that user interface. Anyway, the story that I want to bring is we create this application, customer starts working with that application, everything runs and everything is successful. But of course, with every new iOS version, we have to recompile, rebuild against the latest Xcode and so on. And so a couple of years later, same thing, new iOS version and changes in Xcode. And the change at that time was that from that well, now old user interface design thing that we used, we had to transform everything to storyboards, because storyboards were then the new thing, and you had to use storyboards. So we had to go to the customer and bring the message, you're out of luck. If we want to bring your application to the latest iOS, we first have to convert all user interface related stuff to the new storyboards paradigm. That cost us I think it was like a month work. So the customer had to pay us a month of work for, in the end, ending up with exactly the same application. So for the customer, there was no advantage whatsoever apart from running on the latest iOS version, but he had to pay a month of development work. And that was, of course, an unpleasant message that I had to bring to the customer. And the nice thing is, I think, that I've never had to bring any such unpleasant messages to customers for Delphi applications. So in terms of, and I think another thing that I want to say is, I think the most precious resource in a human life is time, because time cannot be bought. Time is limited. Everyone has the same amount of time. So if you invest your time in creating something, I think it better is with something that has a long period that you can take advantage of it, both yourself and your customers, of course. And a third thing that I want to say is, in the area of native application development, certainly Windows, I think Delphi is still the king. I think nothing comes even close with Delphi. I think these days with Microsoft and their solutions for creating native Windows applications, it's a very confusing situation. What you choose now, what certainty is there that in 2 years that will still be the thing that Microsoft pushes? No idea, no clue. It's a bet, and maybe 2 years down the road, you end up with a rewrite that you have to do. So your safe, long-term choice and investment, I think, is unsurpassed with Delphi. And so that's my message that I would bring to young developers. Care about these things too, other than the latest gimmicks and hypes and things. Care about long-term values, long-term creating valuable things for yourself and for your customers.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes.
That's why we
and
still keep using Delphi for a long term time to come.
yes.
Definitely.
Before we finished, thank you to show it the examples. I like it a lot. I think we helped a lot of people to understand this components and so. Bruno, it's been a great conversation. But we are reaching the end of this episode. Before we finished, before we finishing, could you leave a final message for our followers and share your contact information and tell for our audience where they can find the TMS components and other information. It's your turn.
Well, thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you very much for the exchange. I think of the passion we share all three. And I think it's a very valuable thing to do, to have this kind of community. I go back and refer to the training days that we just did like 2 weeks ago. That was also an exciting moment to discuss, sit together, exchange ideas with fellow Delphi developers. And so your initiative to do this in Portugal, I think it's fantastic. And I think it's great to bring these Delphi developers together. And so that's my message to Delphi developers. Connect to other Delphi developers and share your passion, your ideas, your future thinking about things. And that, I think, will for sure inspire and strengthen. And don't be shy. I mean, like you said, this idea of we are old and blah, blah, blah. I think we do valuable things with passion. And I think we can share that with young people, whoever is excited in technology. And that's my invitation for people to do as well. And so sure, if you, we are more than happy to invite you to our website where you can find all our components. That's tmssoftware.com. And this same open spirit of community, communicating, exchanging is very welcomed also with us. So send us your feedback if you don't like something, if you like something, if you want to see something new. We're always open for communication, and we're always excited to learn about new interests and things that we can add to the products that we have.
So, will you put your contacts and TMS website on the comment, the observation of this video, and that's it. My friend Bruno, thank you so much. You being here. And we will switch to Portuguese to finish this podcast, right? And that's it. Thank you so much.
Thanks as well.
Wait a little bit. We will switch to Portuguese to finish the podcast. Não é isso, João? Meus amigos.
Exatamente. Vamos lá.
Eu espero que todos tenham gostado desse papo. Eu acho que foi bem interessante, uma vasta experiência aí do nosso amigo Bruno.
A pessoa não bem o conhecimento que ele nos trouxe pode parecer pouco, mas o pouco que cada um daqueles que temos trazido até aqui faz quase uma enciclopédia de conhecimento que temos ao nosso dispor. Não é?
Pois é, então não esqueçam de deixar o seu like, subscrevam o canal, compartilhem esse vídeo, espalhem esse vídeo a mensagem para várias pessoas. Deixem nos comentários qual é a cidade, qual é o país que vocês estão, para a gente poder ter conhecimento também da nossa audiência. Meu amigo João, muito obrigado pela sua companhia. Mais um podcast com uma pessoa super interessante. E ficamos por aqui.
Exatamente. Bye, bye.
Até a próxima. Bye, Bruno.
Até a próxima.
Bye, bye.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
As opiniões e declarações feitas pelos entrevistados do Papo Dev com Portinho são de exclusiva responsabilidade deles e não refletem necessariamente a posição dos apresentadores, da produção ou do canal. O conteúdo aqui exibido tem caráter informativo e opinativo, não estando vinculado a qualquer compromisso com a veracidade ou exatidão das falas dos participantes. Caso você se sinta ofendido ou tenha qualquer dúvida sobre as declarações feitas neste vídeo, por favor, entre em contacto connosco para esclarecimentos. Estamos abertos a avaliar e, se necessário, editar o conteúdo para garantir a precisão e o respeito a todos.